Of London, a hotbed of British boxing over the years. And just ahead, one-time WBC lightweight champion Edwin Rosario and the undefeated Frankie Randall. Hi, everybody. Marv Albert with the Fight Doctor. Ferdy Pacheco. We're about 10 minutes away from the opening bell, and it should be nervous moments for Frankie Randall. Edwin Rosario representing a major step up in terms of quality of opposition. Now, is Randall over his head?
I think we have to go back to the beginning of May when we saw an inexperienced but up-and-coming fighter named Kenny Bazemore take on the former champion Roger Mayweather. He had all the credentials except when he stepped in the ring, he was nervous, he didn't fight his kind of fight, and the former champion, took care of business in just 3 rounds. We face the same kind of crossroad here. Is Frankie Randall nervous? Yes, he should be nervous. He's facing a young, tough, and hard-punching ex-champion in Rosario. But he's got to overcome that nervousness, and he's got to fight his fight and not let it affect him.
How about Edwin Rosario? Has he recovered from the sting of losing the title by being knocked out in the 4th round by Jose Luis Ramirez?
That's kind of what we're going to find out today. He had 2 fights, preparatory fights against nobodies. Now he comes across a kid who's had 19 knockouts in 23 fights, who's dying to crawl over him to get into title contention. Very important fight for Rosario. Should he lose here, he knocks himself out of a big payday.
You'll be hearing by wire from the nobodies, Ferdy. All right, Frankie Randall, Edwin Rosario are just ahead as NBC Sports World continues. In London, Edwin Rosario and Frankie Randall are preparing to make their way to the ring. We're moments away from fight time. For Frankie Randall, it's been an unblemished record, including a host of early round knockouts. July of last year, Steve Mitchell was stopped in round 3. 19 of Randall's 23 victories have ended via the knockout route. Last September in Tampa, it was Randall putting away Eduardo Lugo in the 4th round, completing a string of 5 consecutive knockouts. In his last fight, May the 1st, Davey Boy Brown was able to hang in and last the 10 rounds, but Randall came away with the decision. For Randall, it was strictly a workout, with Edwin Rosario waiting in the wings. And today, Randall faces his most difficult test against Rosario, who won the WBC Lightweight Championship in May of '83 by taking a controversial close decision over Jose Luis Ramirez. However, in the rematch last November, in a wild one, it was Ramirez surprising Rosario and stopping him in the 4th round after Rosario twice sent Ramirez to the canvas. A memorable fight in San Juan last November.
Rosario, what a shot by Ramirez right there. He's in trouble. 30 seconds left of the round, and Rosario in big trouble. Ramirez looking to put Rosario down. Rosario trying to hold on, and he doesn't know how. He's holding the ropes. And it's all over.
Edwin, after your last title defeat at the hands of Ramirez, when you turned your back in the corner and the fight was stopped, there's a great deal of discussion as to what this was going to do to you. How did you take the loss? How did you find that defeat? I didn't find that the loss was harmful. I thought it was an experience that I had to go through. It was an experience that I will use to my advantage. And when you're fighting Frankie Randall, a man they call the surgeon because he is such a fine boxer in the classical style, what do you think of Frankie?
I
think Frankie Randall is a fine boxer, a stylist, a guy that's always well-trained, and he always comes forward. Should you win against Frankie Randall, there's a great possibility that you will face the winner of Camacho and Ramirez, who are fighting for the title August the 10th. Now, what do you do till then? Do you sit around and wait, or do you continue to be active and take your chances until you get that title shot?
No me sentaré a esperar, como acabas de decir.
I will not sit by and wait idly. I have another fight in August, and I'll continue to fight until the title shot presents itself. Frankie, for 23 fights, you fought good but ordinary fighters. Now you're fighting a young, former champion of the world in Edwin Rosario. Does that change your attitude, your outlook, the way you plan and execute a fight?
It won't change my style any at all. It won't change my attitude. He's used to be a champion. And so I'm willing to get in there and perform to my best.
Speaking as one doctor to another, I hear they call you the surgeon. By the way, why do they call you the surgeon?
Well, some doctors can pretend they're boxing experts, so why can't some boxers pretend they're...
Touché. Well, Doctor, this fight is more than just an idle fight in London, England. This fight really can be to see who fights the winner of Camacho Ramirez for the title. Should you win, you would be in line for the title. Would you go right for it?
If it presents itself, then I would go right for it. I wouldn't back away from it and turn away. I didn't go and train for it.
And there is Frankie Randall in the ring. Record of 23-0. 19 by knockout. He's been an active fighter. 9 bouts in 1984. This is 4th fight. In 1985, Frankie Randall says he tries to pattern himself after Ray Leonard, whom he greatly admires. And here's Edwin Rosario, the one-time WBC lightweight champion. Record of 22-1. 19 by knockout. His only loss last November in San Juan in a fight telecast here on NBC Sports World, stopped by Jose Luis Ramirez in the 4th round, as we detailed earlier. Edwin Rosario and Frankie Randall just ahead. We'll be back after these words.
And when you can stand tall, you head for the mountains. Whoosh! Head for the beer brewed natural as a mountain stream, for a taste as smooth as its name. Bush. Head for Bush beer. Head for the mountains.
Newest success story. From a cab driver on the streets of New York City to a breakthrough victory at the famed Brickyard. Now Danny Sullivan comes home to the Big Apple to again challenge the Andretti dynasty at the Kart Meadowlands Grand Prix. Live on NBC Sports World. There is a world of difference.
We welcome you back to London, England. Marv Albert with the fight doctor, Ferdy Pacheco. A crowd of about 2,000, which is capacity here at York Hall. Getting set, Edwin Rosario, Frankie Randall in the ring. Let's go to the ring announcer and the very proper tones of Bernard Sullivan.
We now come to the main event of the evening. This is a lightweight contest of 10 rounds, 3 minutes each round. Presenting from Morristown, Tennessee in the United States, Frankie Randall. And from Tobago in Puerto Rico, the former lightweight champion of the world, Edwin Rosario. My lords, ladies and gentlemen, this match was made at 9 stone 10 pounds or 136 pounds, and at the weigh-in today, Randall scaled 9 stone 10 pounds or 136 pounds. Rosario 9 stone 6 3/4 pounds or 132 3/4 pounds. Your referee for this contest is Mr. Harry Gibbs, an officer of the most excellent order of the British Empire, and your timekeeper is Mr. Ted Turner.
All right, the veteran referee Harry Gibbs with last-second instructions for Randall and Rosario, scoring on the 10-point must system. The British system awards half points, so a 10-9 round can be a knockdown round. 10-9.5. A very close round. Only the referee scores the fight. No 3 knockdown rule. There is no mandatory 8. There is no standing 8. So a boxer can go down continuously as the fight goes on. And the referee can take a timeout to check the fighter. The bell does not save the fighter except in the final round. Frankie Randall in the black. Edwin Rosario in the red. Frankie Randall, very slick combination puncher, likes to pick away at his opponent and looks to use combinations off the jab.
He's establishing the jab in this first round. Rosario, for some reason, giving ground, giving way, not choosing to fight, just trying to time that jab. Both young men with a lot of experience, a lot of amateur experience. And of course, Rosario, the quality of the lightweight division until he got stopped by Ramirez. A shocking upset in view of the fact that he had put down Ramirez in the first and second round.
Mention the impressive amateur records before turning pro. Randall put together one of the most impressive amateur careers in Southern boxing history. Record of 220-16. He won 5 straight Southern Golden Gloves titles. National PAL champion. And won the silver medal in the 1980 Olympics. Lost in the finals to Joe Manley.
You can certainly see a great deal of boxing experience on the part of Randall. Randall just looking slick and outspeeding him, out-jabbing him. Rosario, for his part, just calmly trying to figure him out. For a man this young, he's had a great and impressive professional career.
Rosario, only 22 years old, out of San Juan, Puerto Rico, known for a two-fisted attack. Not a common occurrence. His power comes from proper technique and usually punches short very quickly on balance. Rosario looking at Gibbs for some help. Felt that Randall was holding and hitting.
And Gibbs came over and said, "You're the one that's holding, don't hook his arm."
Rosario also a classic counterpuncher, particularly with the right hand.
Well, the fight gang had this fight dangerous for Randall in the first 2 or 3 rounds when Rosario's explosive. And then they look for the power of Randall to come on.
The rock we trust with our lives is on the move. The Prudential is now bigger than any real estate investor, bigger than the biggest stockbroker. Today, it's big enough for almost every financial need, from insurance to stocks and bonds and everything in between. The Rock, the Prudential. It's strong, it's on the move, it's bigger than life.
Back in London, where we're closing in on 10 p.m. Frankie Randall in the black, Edwin Rosario in the red. When Rosario's going well, has it all. Speed, lightning reflexes, punching power, excellent all-around boxing skills. Following the loss to Ramirez, there have been 2 early knockout victories by Rosario. Purdy, the nobodies you refer to. Alberto Ramos, Eduardo Valdez.
Deepest apologies to them and their families. However, it was just a boxing term.
What a cold guy you are.
Meaning non-marquee, folks. Don't get mad at me.
And Rosario's last fight this past April, a second-round knockout of Alberto Ramos.
Chapo picking up the pace now. He blew that first round unofficially, but Randall had the whole pace of that first round going in his way. He picked him apart with a jab, hooked off the jab. In general, had his way.
Edwin Rosario, affectionately called Capo by Puerto Rican boxing fans, means the kid.
And he's been a kid up to now. But I'm afraid that defeat is making him grow into a man. There's something about a defeat that makes you grow up and mature. In the meantime, Randall is doing all the fighting.
Able to land the good left hook, followed by a combination just past the halfway mark. This is the second round. It's scheduled for 10.
Remember, Randall's a kid. He's got 19 knockouts in 23 fights, so he's not just a fancy Dan. He can bang.
Frankie Randall, born in Birmingham, Alabama, grew up in Morristown, Tennessee, now living in Tampa, Florida. His last fight, May 1st in Tampa, scoring the 10-round decision over Davy Brown, a slow-paced bout. Randall never did find the range. Brown constantly backing up, and that was strictly a conditioner for Randall.
Something sure put him in good condition today because he's fighting slick and fast. He's outspeeding a very fast Rosario right now. He's landing 2, 3, 4 punches to 1. Those are the kind of things that win rounds for you.
Notice a nick over the right eye of Edwin Rosario.
Going to town with us? Nah, go on ahead. Looks like you had a little trouble. Ah, we can take care of it.
A day off is something real special, but so's a good neighbor.
Going into town with us, Pete?
Bush. Head for the beer brewed natural as a mountain stream, for a taste as smooth as its name. Bush. Head for Bush beer.
Back at your call in London, England, the East End section of London. Marv Albert with the fight doctor, Freddie Pacheco. What about that nick over the eye of Rosario?
Well, they're worried in the corner. They worked on it. It's only a little nick, but those things open up. And they stayed on the stool 10 seconds too long. We saw that happen with the Pedroza-McGuigan fight last week. Pedroza stayed in the corner 10 seconds too long all the time. I don't think they're going to let him do that.
Well, it may encourage Rosario to accelerate the pace.
Well, he's certainly come out accelerated. A different Rosario this round, having seen that little nick. He's got a fight tentatively scheduled for next month. That's a lot of confidence when you're facing a guy that's undefeated like Randall.
Manager Jimmy Jacobs told us earlier, depending if he comes out of this one unscathed, and of course depending on coming up with a W.
Well, he can. The first part of that's gone. He's nicked. And however small a nick, you don't want to risk a quality fighter like this with a spot that can pop open and be a nasty cut. Unofficially on my scorecard, I gave the fast Randall the first 2 rounds. Rosario looks like he's just biding his time waiting to get started, but he certainly got started in his third round after he saw his blood in the corner.
And on hand here this evening, London time, to check out Edwin Rosario and Frankie Randall on a busman's holiday. There he is, John the Beast Mugabe. And the talk is Mugabe against the marvelous one, Marvin Hagler.
I think that's coming up in the fall if they can get it together. He certainly would be an attractive bout. In a year packed with attractive bouts so far.
Less than a minute to go, 3rd round. And a nice combination by Randall. Rosario was able to answer.
They're swapping punches just then, and that could be to Randall's disadvantage, although Randall landed 2 or 3 to 1 just then, but Rosario looking for that opening. He knows he can level him with 1 punch. Bloody nose on the part of Randall. That exchange ended up in a bloody nose for Randall. The nick that we spoke of has remained closed on Rosario's eye. Good corner work.
And approaching 10 seconds to go. 3rd round. So Edwin Rosario able to step up the pace here in round 3. We'll be right back. Frankie Randall coming out for round 4, meeting up with the one-time WBC lightweight champion Edwin Rosario. Rosario getting the left hand in effectively.
Rosario unofficially won that last round. He's stepping up the pace, no question about it. Bothered by the style of Frankie Randall, which is fast, in and out.
That was a slip. That was a slip. Push down, said Harry Gibbs.
And Gibbs neglected to clean off the gloves of Randall.
handled by Rosario.
Solid body shot, the kind that'll slow down that speedster, Frankie Randall. Frankie getting a little bit out of his fight plan. He was doing very well those first 2 rounds when he was bipping and bopping and moving around. He's now getting more down into it with Rosario, and of course, that's Rosario's fight. Tough little spark plug.
Frankie Randall, it is his first big money fight, major step. For Randall, who is now having his difficulties with Rosario. Randall did methodically make his way through the lightweight ranks.
Rosario starting to get hammered with some very effective punches at the hands of Rosario. Effective body punching of Rosario has taken a lot of the steam out of the punches of Randall.
Oh, big right hand by Edwin Rosario, who has found the ring in this 4th round.
This is where Randall should get on his bicycle and bide some time and frustrate Rosario instead of standing there and being a target for him. Of course, he has a lot of confidence in his own punch.
Strong round for Edwin Rosario.
On days when I'm...
And this is round 5. Back in London, England, Marv Albert with Ferdy Pacheco. Edwin Rosario taking command in the 4th round. Good start by Frankie Randall.
Speculation in Frankie Randall's corner that he may have a broken nose. They're moving it around a little bit. Punches of Randall not having the speed nor the effectiveness that he had in the first 2 rounds. Of course, that's what happens when a veteran, and I'm talking about the ring experience, not age, veteran fighter like Rosario decides to concentrate on the belly. That will bring down your effectiveness, speed, and your stamina.
Edwin Rosario turned professional at age 16. Began his career as a junior featherweight, knocked out his first 11 opponents. His power has remained as he has moved up in weight. Landing combinations, but not having any effect at all on Rosario. Oh, right hand, and Rosario attempted to follow it up. There's a right by Randall that did hit Pedro.
If Randall had any zing on those punches, he's been landing some right hands this round on Rosario, who's all of a sudden grown careless. That's the kind of boxing Randall needs to do. Duck under those punches, come back, bip and bop, and move out again.
And less than a minute to go in this 5th round, and you'll notice you are seeing running time on the screen to the right. Fighting his way back here in the 5th round after Rosario took over in the 4th.
Rosario, for some reason, abandoning that body attack and permitting Randall to go back to the fancy Dan boxing tactics that won him the first 2 rounds.
Final seconds in this 5th round.
For a cowboy isn't always a case of throwing a perfect loop. Sometimes it's a sack of potatoes. And when you're ready for a second opinion, whoosh, head for the beer brewed natural as a mountain stream, for a taste as smooth as its name. Whoosh.
Well, that was really good. Want some more? Sure.
Head for Bush Beer. Head for the mountains.
And this is round 6, scheduled for 10. These are lightweights. Frankie Randall in the black, Edwin Rosario in the red. Lightweight division in excellent shape for the WBC champ Jose Luis Ramirez, the WBA champion Livingstone Bramble, a division that includes Ray Mancini pending his future plans, Harry Arroyo, Tyrone Crowley, Howard Davis, Jimmy Paul.
Jimmy Paul now the champion, having knocked out Arroyo, the IBF champion, and it is a division loaded with talent. And they make great fights. Randall here so far, surprising Rosario with a good, reputable performance. He hasn't fought anybody near the caliber of Rosario, yet he's given no ground, and the fight is very close to this point. Corner exhorting Rosario to go back to those uppercuts to the body that had cut the legs out from under Randall. But you got to get close. Oh, good right hand by Randall.
And Rosario looking to land that right-hand bomb. He's really winding up.
He is. One of those things lands, it could be all over, but in the meantime, he gets tired throwing them and missing. He's been missing that right-hand bomb all night long. Randall much more accurate with his punches, and again, picking up the sting and the steam of his punches.
At the end of this round, we are going to switch to New York for an NBC News update. That'll be following this 6th round, coming up on a minute left in the 6th. Sharp combination by Rosario.
You know, we're in a land where they love that defense. They love to see a guy make a guy miss and then come back with a jab or a hook. Randall's been doing that all night. Remember, his sole judge here is the referee, Harry Gibbs, who likes to stand aside and just tell the fighters what to do without putting his hands on them.
And the scoring is on the 10-point system. The British system includes half points that can be awarded. Head fake attempted by Randall, but did not work. And that is it for round 6. Back at the York Hall, East End of London, located near the Cockney district of London, Marv Albert and the fight doctor, Bertie Pacheco. This is round number 7. It's scheduled for 10. The one-time WBC lightweight champ, Edwin Rosario, again looking to step it up against Frankie Randall. Randall in the black and Rosario in the red. What does your scorecard tell us?
Quite unofficially, I've got it dead even. Look at the way that right hand is coming in from Randall. Every time he throws it, he lands it, whereas Rosario is missing with his wild right hand. You know, it's getting serious here. The corner's getting a little bit worried because an awful lot is riding on this fight. Rosario's chance at the winner of the Camacho Ramirez fight would go right out the window if he lost here.
When Rosario lost to Ramirez last November, he abandoned the usual efficient counterpunching style, went headhunting, very aggressive. Some boxing people felt he was hurt by criticism that his fights were not entertaining, so went for the surprising knockout in that first round. Nearly worked because Ramirez is a slow starter. And Rosario had also been criticized for letting Howard Davis off the hook after he had knocked him down in the first round. Then he went on to win by decision off that late knockdown last June.
Meanwhile here, Frankie Randall continues to give Rosario all he can handle, landing that right hand with brutal regularity. When they get in close, the strength of Rosario is too much for Randall. Randall should step back and box, just like he did just then. And not getting close. Randall beginning to show signs of fatigue, his mouth open, looking weary.
And coming up on 30 seconds to go in the 7th round. No knockdowns to this point. And referee Harry Gibbs forced to take a more active role.
Rosario just beginning to take command of this fight with this round. He's put together a tough round wherein he's gotten Randall looking very weary and sort of throwing him around like a limp rag when he gets in close.
Edwin Rosario's corner was just cautioned because they have been coaching too loudly. So they've been told to keep it down.
Ride and handling, another demonstration of Ford quality.
To most American drivers, this is what driving's all about, cruising down the highway with the family. That's why we've designed nitrogen pressurized gas shocks into the Mercury Grand Marquis. They help give this car a softer ride without sacrificing handling control. If you like cruising down the open road, you're gonna like this feeling.
Ford, you'll feel the quality because quality is job one.
You know what I don't like about dandruff? Dandruff shampoos. I'm afraid they won't leave my hair the way I like it. This shampoo cares for my hair. It's the only one with a self-balancing formula. Puts dandruff protection where I need it, on my scalp, not on my hair, and it conditions where I need it. Leaves my hair looking and feeling good. Yeah, my shampoo's a dandruff shampoo, but it's today's Head and Shoulders. It cares for my hair.
Here's Frankie Randall out for round number 8. Randall says he's been helped in the past by sparring with people such as Ray Mancini and Johnny Bumpus. Also occasionally works out with Bernard Taylor. Look out.
Well, Rosario certainly doesn't want us to go to a decision. He wants us out of here right now. Corner continues to exhort him to a knockout, to bigger things, to go to the body.
And a corner that has been very vocal and as a result warned by Harry Gibbs. I'm sure Gibbs would love a fellow like Boudini Brown shouting from the corner.
Well, Boudini gets away with it because he does it in no recognizable language. He speaks in a gibberish that nobody can understand.
Plus has an amusing stand-up act going.
Yeah. Well, this Randall has turned out to be a tough nut to solve for Rosario. Rosario has not been able to impose his will. This fight is fluctuating round by round. Last round looked like Rosario just had it under control, and out comes Randall, appearing to find his second wind.
Halfway mark, round number 8. Edwin Rosario, who won the vacant WBC title by taking a close decision from Jose Luis Ramirez that was stopped by Ramirez last November for his only loss. Nice left hook by Rosario.
Rosario's stepping on the gas, and he has landed some hard shots on Randall. Remember, Randall has never been down. You can certainly see why. A couple of those should have stunned him.
And here's Rosario with his biggest punch of the bout. He hurt Randall. He's plucking from angles, but Randall able to come right back.
Come back with 2 hard right hands. Crowd responding to that.
Randall's hurt. You saw him turn his back along the lines of Rosario and Ramirez last November. He is just looking for this round to end. The end of the 8th round, and we will stay right here.
Corner of Rosario just lynching him with water as well as the first 5 rounds of ringside, knowing that they're on the verge of a knockout, and they might need it, although not unofficially on my scorecard. I have Rosario now well ahead, but of course, why trust the opinion of just one man? The judge is the referee, Harry Gibbs. And therefore, let's let it end in a knockout, they say. Let's not hear one man's opinion.
And there is Frankie Randall, 23 years old, out of Morristown, Tennessee, fighting out of Tampa, Florida. A very strong round for Edwin Rosario. As we check out some of the action, here is round number 9. It's slated for 10. At one point of the 8th round, Randall turned his back to Rosario, just looking to get out of the way.
Well, now he's got more heart than experience, because he certainly shouldn't look to fire out with Rosario. He needs some time to regain some of that strength. That 1 minute between rounds was not enough. Rosario is obviously keyed up with the prospect of a knockout. And a ton of water that was doused on him.
Edwin Rosario giving away 2.5 inches in height, but it has not mattered. Also giving away 3 inches in reach. Randall got off quickly. He looked impressive the first couple of rounds. Rosario had a big 4th round and has come on the last 2 or 3.
Well, I think Randall has acquitted himself very well over 8 rounds thus far, although he is definitely wearing out. Superior skill, strength, stamina, experience of the ex-champion, the gritty, gutty little Rosario is finally beginning to tell.
Ooh. Meanwhile, Randall able to connect. Rosario countering.
Good exchange of right hands. Sum total, Randall got devastated. And Rosario's back in the stalls, ready to go again. Randall has absolutely nothing in his punches. Rosario senses it and comes right through. Legs of Randall are wobbly. Sometimes he can't get them coordinated so that they can get in the proper position to punch. Legs that have carried him thus far through his career, bouncing and moving, have got to respond now if he's to survive this round.
And Rosario continues to turn and look for the proper angle. He has been able to connect with those slashing punches, throwing the right hand. And we're final seconds. Round 9. Here's Rosario with some telling blows. But we will go to a 10th and final round.
If he sinks this putt, he wins the tournament.
Hold it! Can anyone here name a copier maker that's bigger than Ricoh?
Xerox.
Ricoh's bigger.
IBM?
Rico's bigger, and we got to be bigger than Xerox by making a full line of copiers that win top marks for quality.
Illuminating.
Now, are you still overlooking Rico? Call Rico. We respond.
That's a gimme.
In the corner, what else can you say to Randall? Try to stay away, try to survive this round. He was almost gone, and they're going to patch him back up and send him out for the 10th round.
And final round. Frankie Randall in the black, Edwin Rosario in the red. No knockdowns to this point. Mentioned earlier, Randall has never been down. Looked shaky on several occasions. Rosario coming on very strong. And it has been Randall hanging on the last couple of rounds.
Roaring crowd at the beginning of the round in appreciation of these two fighters, neither one of whom people in England have ever seen. So British sportsmanship coming to the fore. Look at Rosario just looking for those angles to throw that punch. Just looking for the right position to throw that hook.
Minute gone by in this final round.
Rosario looks like he can go another 10 if they want him to. And Randall doesn't look like he can go 1 minute past the bell.
Yes, Rosario still showing the speed and those quick reflexes. And it had the power throughout the bout. Randall connecting with that short left.
Well, whereas we saw Bazemore flunk his test in May, I think we've seen Randall, regardless of what happens in the next minute or so, pass his. He certainly has stayed in with a veteran fighter and acquitted himself well.
Under a minute to go. In the bout, Edwin Rosario looking to make it 23-1. And looking down the road for another title shot. Frankie Randall just looking to go the distance, and both fighters are hearing it from this crowd here in London. Crowd responding to the effort of Frankie Randall and Edwin Rosario. The hand clapping and the whistling. And you will get an immediate decision. You will see the referee, Harry Gibbs, raise the hand of the winner right after the final bell. Seconds away. And there it is. Edwin Rosario by decision. So Edwin Rosario with a tough 10-round decision over Frankie Randall. And Rosario now 23-1. And many of the fans here at the York Hall in London tossing money into the ring. Not in the direction of the fight doctor for his work here today, but that in appreciation of the bout that they saw. Set for the official announcement of the score.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rosario is the winner with 98.5 points to Randall's 98 points. Rosario winner.
So a very close decision. And under the British system, half points are awarded. Edwin Rosario hears it from the crowd. We'll be back to talk with the former champion in just a moment.
35i has an ingenious anti-lock braking system for stopping power far beyond the merely adequate. A new 3.5-liter engine for considerably more than acceptable performance. And a suspension vastly better than good enough. The new 735i exceeds the acceptable in hundreds of ways. But then, it wasn't built to be adequate. It was built to be a BMW.
You are about to see what may be the most dependable film laboratory in the world. A lab that develops pictures not in hours, but in seconds. That makes taking great pictures remarkably easy. That delivers your pictures right to you, anywhere in the world. And where can you find this lab? Right in the palm of your hand. Polaroid instant cameras do what no other kind of camera can do.
What a finish by Williams. Just one hurdle left.
Gatorade is thirsty.
Oh, flag down on the field. Hopkins is called for clipping.
Gatorade is thirsty.
Nice comeback by Reynolds, facing one of the most consistent players in the game.
When you exercise, you lose potassium, fluids, minerals. Gatorade Thirst Quencher helps put them back fast.
That's why the pros drink it. It's Thirst Aid.
Gatorade is Thirst Aid for that deep down body thirst.
17 hours. That's how long it took us to paint this house with the brush. Then we painted it in just 6.5 hours with the Wagner Power Painter. This wicker chair took over an hour, but less than 5 minutes with a Wagner Power Painter. A shutter that took 20 minutes, a Power Painter finished in only 3. It's a tool so versatile, it has a flexible spray tip and a way to draw paint right from a can. A Wagner Power Painter. It's the right tool for painting.
An American tradition continues with an old-fashioned doubleheader. First, Reggie Jackson leads the California Angels as they face the Chicago White Sox. Then on to Motown as the world champion Detroit Tigers host the New York Yankees. Plus regional action, check local listings. The tradition is here. The memories are waiting.
Back in London, a very tough 10-round bout between Edwin Rosario and Frankie Randall. Good action, particularly in the later rounds. Rosario stepping it up in round 4, then taking command. The referee, Harry Gibbs, had it very close. The decision to Rosario, 98.5 to 98. And the fight doctor is inside the ring, along with Edwin Rosario.
Rosario, mucho más difícil que lo que tú pensaste. It was a harder fight than you thought.
Creo que sí, ya que el mundo sabe también que yo no estoy peleando con ninguna muela. Estoy peleando con un boxeador que tiene 240 peleas en las Olimpiadas, amateur, y tiene 24 peleas como profesional invicto.
Yes, I thought it was a hard fight after all. I wasn't fighting an easy man. He'd had 200 some odd amateur fights and a brilliant pro career. I wasn't in there with an easy guy. ¿Tú creías que lo podías noquear? Did you think you were going to be able to knock him out?
Bueno, no que creía que lo podía noquear, pero en la televisión uno habla, ¿entiendes? De acuerdo a lo que uno aparenta.
No, I didn't think I would be able to knock him out at the end, but of course, we always brag before the fight in order to make it publicity-wise. You heard Rosario say that he didn't think he could knock you out. Did you think you were going to get knocked out? That 8th round was a 2-point round on the referee's scorecard, meaning he thought you were in desperate trouble.
No, I never thought I was going to get knocked out. First of all, I'd like to say hello to everybody in Morristown and hello to Scott Housing System and happy birthday to W.R. Kyle in Morristown. But I never thought I would get knocked out. I just let down in the 8th round, and he come on a little strong, and he hit me with a couple of good shots, and I think that would turn the fight around.
Estás buscando la pelea de Camacho y Ramírez. Are you looking forward to Ramirez and Camacho?
Sí, creo que esta es una de las terceras peleas que hago de preparación para el que gane entre Ramírez y Camacho, pero cuando llegue la pelea de Ramírez y Camacho yo voy a estar súper preparado para llevarme enjedado el que salga campeón.
He said, I think this is the last fight of preparation. If they're going to be this tough, and therefore, when that fight comes on, I'll be ready to take on the winner. And so, since we're all congratulating everybody, happy Father's Day to all you fathers.